Your smartwatch might know you're sick before you do. And soon, that little device on your wrist could outperform your doctor, not just with real time data, but with AI driven predictions that could literally save your life. This isn't science fiction. This is the new frontier of healthcare powered by edge AI and wearables that never stop monitoring, learning, and evolving. Let's be real. Most healthcare is still reactive. If you feel sick, book a visit, maybe wait days or weeks, and by the time you're diagnosed, the damage is often already done. What if the signs were there days ago in your heart rate, sleep cycle, blood oxygen, or stress patterns, but no one was watching? That's the gap. And that gap costs lives, time, and billions in avoidable treatments. Now imagine this instead: AI powered wearables tracking your vital signs 24/7, analyzing your heartbeat, every breath, every subtle deviation from your baseline, and alerting you before things spiral. From smartwatches and biosensors to AI rings and even smart textiles, Edge AI is bringing hospital level monitoring to your wrist with no lag, no cloud dependency, and no gatekeeping. In this video, we'll break down how these devices work, what they can actually detect, who's leading the charge, and how it's reshaping personal healthcare forever. But before we jump into it, if you're interested in mastering AI or having me build a custom automation for your business, feel free to hit the link below and set up a free one-on-one call with me to discover the possibilities. Now, let's get dangerous. Let's break this down, because Edge AI sounds buzzwordy, but it's a game changer. Edge AI means that artificial intelligence is running locally on the device itself, rather than relying on the cloud. No sending data to a server, no waiting for a response, just instant analysis right on your wrist, chest, or ring. Why does this matter? Because when it comes to your health, speed and privacy are everything. Let's say your heart rhythm suddenly changes while you're asleep. With Edge AI, your wearable detects it in real time, no internet required, and triggers an alert before you even wake up. That's not just convenience, that's potentially life-saving. Now compare that to cloud-based AI. It has to send your data to a server, wait for processing, and then send results back. That delay in a medical context could be the difference between catching something early or not at all. Now let's talk devices. Smartwatches like Apple Watch, Fitbit, or Samsung Galaxy Watch are already monitoring heart rate, blood oxygen, and sleep cycles. Fitness trackers like Whoop or Garmin are focused on performance, recovery, and strain scores. Biosensor patches are used in hospitals and now moving into consumer space for things like glucose monitoring or cardiac signals. Smart rings like the Aura Ring, discreet but powerful, tracking temperature, HRV, and sleep with surprising accuracy. All of these use Edge AI to crunch numbers on the fly, identifying patterns, spotting anomalies, and even adapting to your unique health baseline. This isn't just smarter tech, it's faster, safer, and more personal than ever before. So what exactly are these AI wearables watching? They're not just counting steps anymore. These devices are tracking deep physiological signals, and AI is learning what your normal looks like so it can flag when something's off. Here are the big ones. Heart rate is obvious, but HRV is the real goldmine. It measures the variation between heartbeats, something doctors use to gauge stress, recovery, and even early illness. Low HRV could signal overtraining, poor sleep, or an oncoming illness. Aura and Whoop both use HRV to deliver readiness scores, alerting users days before they feel symptoms. A 2021 study published in Scientific Reports found that wearables detected COVID-19 up to 3 days before symptoms by analyzing HRV and respiration changes. Blood oxygen, or SpO2. Smartwatches and rings now measure SpO2 to detect dips in blood oxygen levels. That's huge for respiratory illness, altitude adaptation, and even sleep apnea detection. During the pandemic, this metric became a silent lifesaver, catching early signs of COVID-related hypoxia. AI in wearables tracks light, deep, and REM sleep by combining movement, temperature, and heart data. Devices like Apple Watch and Aura Ring can now detect disruptions in sleep that correlate with stress, illness, or inconsistent routines. Studies show that sleep tracking wearables are within 78 to 90% accuracy compared to lab-grade polysomnography. Real-time glucose tracking is already here in the form of continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, like the Dexcom G7 and the Abbott Freestyle Libre. And here's the best part. Companies like Apple and Samsung are already working on non-invasive glucose sensing, powered by AI to interpret photonic signals through the skin. Stress and mood indicators. Using HRV, skin temperature, and galvanic skin response, or GSR, wearables are estimating stress levels in real time. Fitbit and Garmin now push stress alerts when your metrics spike unexpectedly. Some even suggest mood tracking based on biometrics, patterns, and behavioral AI. How do these all tie together? These aren't just raw numbers. AI models inside these devices build a baseline for your body, then continuously analyze for patterns and deviations. So when your heart rate, temperature, and sleep suddenly shift, AI doesn't just say you're off. It says, you might be getting sick, you didn't recover from yesterday's workout, or your stress levels are spiking above normal. That level of personalization at scale is what makes this tech not just cool, but clinically valuable. Alright, this is where it gets real. Let's talk about how AI wearables aren't just tracking data, they're changing lives. Millions of people are walking around with undiagnosed atrial fibrillation, a serious heart condition that can lead to strokes. But now, a smartwatch might catch it before a doctor ever does. The Apple Heart study, done with Stanford Medicine, showed the Apple Watch could detect irregular heart rhythms with 84% accuracy, leading many users to seek treatment early. There are dozens of documented cases where a simple vibration on the wrist sent someone to the ER and they avoided a stroke, literally lives saved. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, devices like Aura Ring, Fitbit, and Whoop identified elevated heart rate and respiratory changes days before symptoms appeared. One study published in Nature Biomedical Engineering found wearables could predict COVID infection up to 4 days early in 80% of cases. This isn't hypothetical. This is already happening. For people managing conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or heart disease, AI wearables act like a 24/7 personal nurse. Continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, now feed real-time glucose data into AI apps that suggest dietary changes on the fly. Blood pressure monitors with Edge AI give instant trend analysis, helping users and doctors adjust meds faster than monthly visits ever could. This is proactive care, not reactive treatment. Now here's something unexpected. Your wearable might be better at detecting burnout than your boss or even you. By combining heart rate variability, sleep quality, and daily activity trends, wearables can flag signs of chronic stress, fatigue, or even depression. Fitbit and Garmin send alerts like your stress levels are elevated. Consider breathing exercises. More advanced platforms use AI to recognize patterns in emotional regulation, prompting users to reflect before things spiral. And yes, it's still early days for mood prediction, but with enough data, AI doesn't just know what you're feeling, it starts to predict what you'll feel next based on behavior patterns and biometrics. This is about early detection, continuous care, and emotional resilience, powered by wearable AI 24/7. We've talked about what these AI wearables can track, But let's zoom out. What are the actual benefits for you, for healthcare, and for the world? You have always on health visibility. First and foremost, you're no longer flying blind. Instead of waiting for your annual checkup or a health scare, you've got real-time 24/7 access to what your body's doing. Your heart rate, stress, sleep, blood oxygen, readiness to train, recovery, all tracked, analyzed, and contextualized by AI. It's like having a mini diagnostic lab strapped to your body. No scheduling, no guesswork, just instant awareness. Fewer hospital visits, lower costs. This is where it hits the system level. By catching early signs of illness or imbalance, wearables help you take action before it becomes a crisis. That means fewer ER trips, fewer avoidable hospitalizations, and less burden on your already stretched healthcare systems. And for patients managing chronic conditions, AI wearables help reduce the need for constant in-person monitoring, saving time, travel, and money. In short, better data is less drama. You have hyper-personalized, data-driven health insights. This is the real breakthrough. Traditional medicine often treats everyone the same way, but your body is unique, and now your healthcare can be too. AI wearables learn your personal baseline, your normal resting heart rate, your typical sleep cycle, your stress responses, and flag when something deviates. Instead of average recommendations, you get custom insights. Instead of generic fitness plans, you get feedback tuned to your biology. And instead of reacting to problems, you start preventing them. And as the AI improves, the feedback gets smarter. What we're heading toward is adaptive health, where your device knows you so well it can coach, correct, and alert you like a medical-grade assistant. Bottom line, AI wearables aren't just gadgets. They're preventative medicine, personalized coaching, and health liberation, all wrapped around your wrist. Look, AI wearables are powerful, but they're not perfect. And before we all start replacing doctors with smartwatches, let's talk about what you need to watch out for. First up, your body data is big business. These devices are constantly collecting your most intimate health signals: heart rate, sleep cycles, stress levels, even your location and daily habits. And the question is, where does that data go? Who owns it? And how is it protected? In 2023, the markup revealed that some health wearables shared user data with third-party advertisers without consent. Data leaks and breaches are already happening in the healthcare space. And unlike a hacked password, you can't change your heart rate or DNA. So don't assume your data is safe just because it's about your health. There are accuracy concerns and medical regulation. Let's be clear, AI wearables are not doctors. Studies have shown that while these devices are generally reliable, they're still not as accurate as medical-grade tools. Variables like skin tone, tattoo ink, or even how tight the device is can skew results. False positives can cause panic. False negatives can create a false sense of security. And when it comes to regulation, only a handful of features, like the AFib detection in Apple Watch, are FDA cleared. Most wearables market themselves as wellness devices to avoid strict regulatory review. So take those health insights seriously, but always confirm major concerns with a qualified provider. You risk over-reliance on tech versus human expertise. The more these devices can tell us, the more we start outsourcing our health judgment to them, and that's dangerous. AI is a tool, not a replacement for medical judgment, empathy, or human context. A wearable might tell you your HRV is down, but it doesn't know you just pulled an all-nighter with a newborn. It might say you're fine, but miss a subtle symptom that a real doctor would catch in conversation. Wearables can augment your health awareness, but they can't replace critical thinking or professional care. Use them to stay informed, not to self-diagnose in isolation. These tools are incredible, no doubt, but knowing their limits is just as important as knowing their capabilities. Smart choices need smart users. Let's look at the receipts and what AI wearables are actually doing out in the real world. The Apple Heart Study, conducted by Stanford Medicine and published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2019, analyzed over 419,000 participants. It found that the Apple Watch could identify irregular heart rhythms consistent with AFib with 84% positive predictive value. Thousands of users were alerted early. Many sought medical attention and avoided stroke-level events. A study published in Nature Biomedical Engineering in 2021 by Scripps Research found that wearables detected COVID-19 up to 4 days before symptoms appeared in over 80% of cases. Devices tracked heart rate, activity, and sleep, allowing AI to spot subtle changes. In 2022, a study published in JMIR M Health and U Health validated the Aura Ring's accuracy in tracking sleep stages and readiness via HRV and body temperature. It found strong correlation above 85% with lab-based polysomnography for sleep detection. A McKinsey report in 2023 estimated that AI-driven health monitoring could cut U.S. healthcare costs by $300 to $450 billion a year, primarily by reducing emergency visits and hospital admissions through early intervention. This is only getting smarter, faster, and more embedded in daily life. So remember, if you're interested in mastering AI or having me build a custom automation for your business, hit the link below and set up a free one-on-one call to discover the possibilities. And with that, be sure to leave a like, share your thoughts with the class, and before you subscribe, make sure you know what you're doing, because it ain't easy being at the top. I'll see you guys next time.